Hello, welcome to our show, Score, the best kept secret. I'm your host, Giovanni. I'm one of the mentors with Score, and we are excited to have our guest today, Fabienne. How are you today?
I am well, thank you.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what you do.
Okay, so again, yes, my name is Fabienne and I own a company. It's called Offsite Advantage. I do business as offsite assistant. I pretty much started off back in 2010 when I tried to figure out how I was going to raise my son and also continue with a career or work. And so I realized that a lot of companies had a need for sort of the behind the scenes type of person who can do all sorts of things for them. And I came up with the concept Offsite Advantage that, I'm there when you're not around, and the advantage is that your business continues to do what it needs to do, or the task that needs to get done gets completed, but you just have your behind the scenes assistant doing it. So
great.
That's how I first started up the concept, the company.
Okay, so the types of services that you offer, what exactly is the behind the scenes? Tell me about that.
Yeah, everything is on the internet. So I do anything from marketing, sales, customer service, organizing, maintaining websites, ordering, processing, anything that you have to check. You don't solely rely on just a computer program to do it for yourself because you want to make sure there's quality. I do. But to be a little more specific, I work with a manufacturer that sells and manufactures her own beauty care products. And there's a lot of online stores that I have to manage. And managing means making sure that they have the right photos, right information, pricing. If there's any violators who sort of devalue their brand, I do e-blast where I stay connected with the audience so that they know exactly what's happening and the different products that we're featuring for the week or the month. I work with a storyboard artist also, where we manage storyboard artists. We have companies who needs a storyboard written or drawn, and for their pitch or commercial. And I'm that middle person, just managing it all.
Sounds like you do a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, bookkeeping as well is one of the main things that I do.
Excellent.
But yes.
So then how did you come across Score?
Well, when I first moved here, I found it a bit difficult for me to connect with other business owners. I did a little legwork myself and realized that it wasn't really getting me anywhere because not a lot of people knew who I was, and I was new to the area. So I did some research online and I came across Score. So I made an appointment where I met with Steve Bobick and John Boyle. And from the first meeting, we connected.
Excellent.
Not only did they understand what I was looking for, but that's exactly what their mission is really to give back to entrepreneurs, business owners, or self-starters like myself, to really help them going, because it is extremely difficult when you're trying to get something off the ground at the beginning.
Excellent. So it sounds like you had a great idea and plan, just someone to help you kind of put it all together and get the network out there to work. Did you have any struggles in the beginning other than not knowing everyone?
Well, one thing is, as far as starting a business, is you need a business plan.
Number one.
And that was one of the key things that, Steve and John really wanted to make sure that I was able to get going or have in place. Sure. Until this day, it's still a work in progress task or endeavor for me, because things are just constantly changing. But the way they assisted me is pretty much the out view of how I was going to approach my targeted clients. And I think that they bridged that gap for me. Not only they helped me understand the types of businesses that are here and how my services would be able to help, they've also made some recommendations. They volunteered so many hours towards just helping me understand how to organize myself and also organize a local company that I was working with for about a year. So they really are mentors that are there for you, to assist you through whatever process or situation that you're going through that they help you with.
And you hit some very important keys that I want to remind our audience is that this is a free confidential service. Again, the relationship building that you've established with SCORE and they with you, it shows, it's just a great organization to build that relationship and help mentor you and guide you throughout the way. So now, how are things looking for your business? Are you where you wanted to be when you came to SCORE?
Well, basically, my business model is where I sort of go out and I interact with the company. So I'm the one doing the client interfacing, and I have assistants who are helping me as well do the tasks. And I haven't gotten to that place yet, but I've actually made a decision where I have an assistant now that that's setting up to do that. So I'm not exactly where I would love to be, but I believe that I needed to go through these steps as far as to really understand and fine-tune exactly how I want to do business and what I want to do. Great. And I've attracted so many different types of businesses that right now I'm rethinking it all, you know, about, okay, how do I want to stay within a certain industry, or do I still want to continue with my original business model? And the one thing I think the valuable or the key important thing for me was the confidence that I was able to gain through the whole process of just, trial and error. Working with companies and small business owners who need assistance and who are trying to make it and work themselves out as well. Or work things out.
So it sounds like there's just many things, like you mentioned, behind the scenes. Not only with what you're doing, but with what SCORE does to assist someone like you. It sounds like you're now at a point where you're doing some critical thinking on the future of your business. And I'm glad to hear that SCORE is still a part of that.
Yes, they are, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I attribute my success and to some of the improvements I made to SCORE due to the mentoring and guidance that I received from Steve and John. I believe that I probably would have went in a different direction or sort of plateaued somehow if it were not for some of the key important instructions and literature they shared with me, meetings, some of the things that we got out of the meetings as well.
That's great. Yeah, it's a
great
team.
It is a great team, and it just gives you, that peace of mind knowing that you have someone else who's had a business for many years, who has the experience, and who's going to really, really understand what you're going through, because they were new at their business at some point. So it again, that's the confidence that helped me get through some of the humps, and there's many more coming.
And it's very important, like you said, to connect with people that have that experience and the wisdom to share with us, because without that, we would not reach our goals, right?
Absolutely.
So remember, people, check out our website, check out our Facebook page. This is another great success story that we have here in front of you. Do you have any final messages for our audience? Anything that you recommend they do?
I would say that SCORE is a part of the community, and there are many different SCORE offices in different areas, right? And I think that just like the Chamber of Commerce, SCORE is sort of that same organization that builds that network for you. So I highly recommend that someone look into working with a mentor at SCORE. And I also want to thank Steve and John for their time, and I think I'm not
it sounds like you have a great team there working with you. I had Steve on a different show, and he brought out a great point that they help you kind of get a reality check on what you're doing. So you sounded like you had your mind already in place. You knew what you wanted to do, but maybe some behind the scenes things, no pun intended, that still needed to be done.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like it was a great match for you and for SCORE. And we're very excited that you came on board and used the program. And we hope that our audience also checks out our website, follows us on Facebook, and does that short survey online to get connected with a mentor. So thank you again for being our guest today. I want to thank you all for tuning in today as well. My name is Giovanni, and I am a SCORE mentor. And I want to thank you for being in tune with us, as well as check us out next week for another great story. Thank you.
Check back next week for more stories from SCORE, the best kept secret, here on the People Chronicles. Like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. If you would like to access our services or volunteer with SCORE, visit our website, berksschuylkillscore.com.